of the day there, if in case you have been under a rock, President Ramaphosa taking the public protector's report on review, describing it as irrational among other superlatives, describing it as not fair, a process that helped her to arrive at these recommendations, or rather, in fact, findings and also remedial actions. Also complaining that the public protector did not give him a chance to comment on the remedial action that she was suggesting. So, quite clearly, history repeating itself here, public protector being a pain on the side of the powers that be. There seem to be 2 or 3 big issues around the report. Firstly, the Bosasa payment. The public protector says, okay, that the president deliberately misled Parliament. At the same time, she says this was done in good faith. I must tell you, I must still read it closely to understand how those two can coexist. But more importantly, she disputes, and she's disputed this not just in the report, but in our interview with Newzroom Africa on Friday, right? She disputes vehemently that the president did not know who was donating, how much they were donating, what was the movement of money once the donations were in particular accounts. Please deal with the second one first for me. Are you telling me the president had no idea whatsoever who donated money to him?
No. Let's just go to what the president said himself.
Yeah.
This evening. He said he did speak to some donors. He did attend, which is true. I've attended some of the fundraising activities.
Yes.
Now, that's where he says his interaction with donors ended.
Yeah.
And I believe him because I was part of the communication team.
Yeah.
We did all the communication and said, President, this is what you are going to do.
Yeah.
In the CR70.
Yes.
There was a team that was charged with fundraising.
Yes.
With Baba James Mtlazi, Botone, and others.
Yes.
Now, the details of who put how much in which account, he might not even know the accounts, by the way.
Yeah.
People who will be quite up to date with the accounts will be those people who were in charge, that we call the trustees of those accounts. So I think this matter will assist all of us when it goes to court.
Yeah.
Because what is also very troubling, my own view is that had the public protector called those people, she would have been assisted a great deal.
Called who?
Those who dealt with the account.
No.
Those were trustees.
He certainly called some of them. Some of them, they are being quoted in her report. But I don't want to go into too much detail because, as you are correctly saying, it will be ventilated in court.
In court.
But where you and I must agree, right, is that logically, when you look at it frankly, without the strict charge of being a minister or a comrade or a CR17 campaigner, right, that it doesn't make sense that someone can donate 51 million rand and nobody bothers to tell the president. That's serious stuff. And that cannot, right?
51 million?
Yeah.
Or 500,000?
No, 51 million. Right? 51 million in tranches of 5 million at a time. It's illogical for that kind of information not to be escalated because that person who's donated 51 million, right, we need to be known by the president because certainly they can't just be doing it just for the sake of it. And that's where the capture narrative can start to revisit us again. You and I need to agree that something there doesn't click. And it may be a bigger discussion that says within the ANC inter-party campaigning, right, should there be a lot more diligence about who then gets to give money, especially in the context of state capture? Please tell me you agree with that.
No, I fully agree. I fully agree. How we raise money even for internal contestation and from whom we raise money. I think the leadership of the ANC must take this matter further.
Very serious.
So that we don't end up owing people favors. But having said that, by the way, you asked me a question. If somebody donates whatever amount, will the people that the person is donating to not have briefed the principal? My view is that, yes, they would have briefed the principal.
Yeah, the people who are receiving the funds.
are receiving the funds.
Yeah.
But it's not the principal who's... You see, what I'm trying to allay fears on is that, indeed, at some stage, probably in a normal environment, such a funder might even come and have tea with me.
Absolutely.
Tea with me.
But the president said he didn't know anything. He said here on the show, when we launched here, when we visited us, that at that time, and this was I think it was the 2nd of May or somewhere around that date, that at that point he didn't know anything. He didn't know who donated. He said they told him, President, you can't know. And I'm saying that that's skating on thin ice, Comrade Jackson, right? Because we need to do believable things. You cannot tell me. And at that time, we didn't even know the figures. It's more unbelievable today when we know that there's somebody who donated 51 million at a go, right? Secondly, that over R500 million, over close to, I think it's 444 million rand was raised, right? Huge, that's big, right? And people are going to ask, what on earth were they doing with so much money? You can't tell me rallies cost R500 million rand. Rallies here and there, some transport, etc. So those two question marks are beginning to say, in your view, is there a way, and I know that, if the report came out on Friday, and the president is speaking today, there's no way that you have considered all angles. It's not possible. That's why you still need to develop papers, you go to court and so on. In your view, is there a room somewhere, right, for the president to save the country all of the pain and simply find a way in which they can accept that something went wrong, even if it may not be his personal fault? But something in the management of this big slush fund of campaign must have gone wrong in a manner it was handled, in a manner that it is not seen to be putting him on Haram's way of people who now believe that now they are owed something because they donated so much money to make him president.
Would also this action that he has taken not assist us? Because, you see, the judges will want to know, where did the money go? You people who received the money, when did you tell the president?
Yes.
And why don't we leave it to this judicial review?
Okay.
Because this judicial review will assist us. And I was being honest with you. If there is somebody, again, I was not working in the CR17 campaign. I was not in the finances.
Yes.
I was in communication. That's when we were directing the president, go to this media, go to this.
I say you are not briefed on the finances?
No.
At all?
Definitely.
So you and the president were not briefed on the finances?
No. All I know is that there were times when, in fact, the president himself, I heard from the financial gurus, financial guys, that, in fact, we have no money. We have asked the president to donate. Yes, that I know. As to who else they would have approached, I can tell. In fact, I didn't even know that Bosasa donated, by the way. Until when all these things, when the 500 thing came out in Parliament,
you also learned this for the first time.
I was in the dark.
Do you share the PP's sentiment that maybe the president should have asked for more time to go and consult?
I fully agree. In fact, it would have assisted us a great deal. I said so to the president.
But doesn't this raise the issue of capacity around the president, Comrade Jackson? Is there, in your view, an issue of strengthening capacity, whether it be legal capacity, whether it be advisory capacity around the president?
No. The president was standing there alone. Let's first start there, before we even come to capacity. He was standing there alone, answering another question. Honorable Maimane stood up and said, I have this paper in front of me of some money that went to your son. 500, $500,000. That went to your son. Now, where the president was wrong is when he was faced with that question that did not come from it didn't even come from the original question.
And he answered on the spot.
He should not have answered on the spot. That's
right,
number
let's
one.
leave it there.
Secondly,
yes.
He should have indeed got the back office to investigate this so-called 500,000 that this fellow claimed to have been given to his son.
All right, let's leave it there. Your budget vote, there are one or two big priorities. I want us to zone into the priority that relates to positioning government around the world properly. Secondly, the issue of economic regeneration. President steering this whole issue of investment drive and so on. I want us to deal with those two areas that relate to the budget vote of the presidency. We're talking to Jackson Mthembu, Minister in the Presidency. Stay tuned for more conversation as we round off that conversation after the break.